good, y'all? Welcome into the show. Welcome to Peapod Cove. It's been a while since I've been live, but we're going to check out this J. Cole tonight. Welcome. We got a couple of people down in the chat already. You know, what's that? K. Jerron. I got a small screen up here, so I'm still working on getting all my equipment together. I've been going through some changes, but we're here to talk about J. Cole. He went on Carmelo Anthony's podcast, and he had a lot to say. Cole had a lot to say. You know, you could say he was an open book, right? He was an open book. We're going to check out the interview. We're not going to watch the whole thing. We're going to get the most important parts, you know, where he talk about Jay-Z. He talked about Kendrick. He talked about Drake. You know, he talked about a lot. It seemed like whatever they wanted to know, he was telling. You know, as he's doing all these interviews, you just got to put them together because he's not telling the same story in every interview. It's a little different. He's like on an interview tour right now. And the other video I dropped today was about the Fall Off. To me, could have been a classic album if he had K-Dot and J. Cole on those albums, which we're finding out now that they were removed. But as we segue, we're going to wait for more people to come in to get to the other interview. But until then, we're going to check out his last interview with Cam, you know, because he reviewed a few things in this interview as well. So let's check this out real quick.
And all right, you did your 7 minutes. Let me do my 7 minutes.
Right.
And the whole point of 7 minutes is like, yo, you can't overthink it. Just let it come. Boom, boom. And that's when I start writing the song that became like 7 minute drill, which in my mind, as I'm writing it, what I had already kind of subscribed to myself is like, all right, this is what I do.
Right.
Like this my nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm worried about what the world gonna say, which is embarrassing to say out loud, but it's true. You know what I mean? Like at that time, because I'm fearful that this thing that I worked on for so long will go unappreciated if I don't.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, this is what I do.
Right.
Let me say just enough.
Right.
To where it looked like I did, you know, like it looked like I said something.
You know, when I hear him talk about this, I really hope it didn't take. He thought that he could have dissed Kendrick with a 7 minute song. That he took him 7 minutes to write. I'm just hoping that that's not the case.
Everything I'm saying to him, I know, and he know it's all survivable. You know what I mean? It's nothing I'm hitting him, not hitting no fatal blows, but it'll be just enough to be like, all right, nigga.
You said something.
Now you gonna come back. I know this is my man. He gonna come back. He gonna say something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Probably give me a line or two or give me a whatever.
Right.
And I'm gonna be like, you got that, cool. Now let's get to this album and really fuck him up. You know what I mean? In my mind, right? Like, but mind you, it's a decision made out of like non-clarity.
Right.
But through that non-clarity, it seemed like my best option, right?
Right.
Boom. We put out Might Delete Later 2 days before Dreamville Fest, and that song is last, right? We just throw it on there. Boom, boom. The second it comes out, and I'm seeing the right away what I did.
Right.
Instantly, what I did was like, oh, you instantly divided off rip. You created a dividing line.
Right.
Where you forcing the world
to pick a side.
And to, if they fuck with you, they gotta.
And that's true. You think about it, when he had no reason to diss either one of these guys. He had no reason to diss either one of these guys, but yeah, he did it. Now I'm trying to figure out what blunder, because he made a lot of mistakes, but which one cost him the verses? Like, how do you lose 4 songs on a finished album? Like, what did you mess up so bad? Is this something that we're missing? Because all he did on that album was told Kendrick that his catalog sucks. Is Kenny that petty? Let me know that in the comments. Let me know in the comments.
Slander him.
Right.
And they taking some of the shit you said, thinking it's survivable and thinking it's just some light shit, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
They taking what you said and they giving it gas and they giving it light. And then my thought becomes, oh, fuck. I done fucked up. I done misrepresented myself.
Right.
I done miss.
That wasn't your intention.
That wasn't my intention.
Right.
My intention was some bullshit. Honestly, my intention was fraudulent to begin with. You pretending. It's like a nigga pull his gun out and like this is my analogy.
Yeah.
It's like oh shit, nigga pull his gun out and just shoot a nigga toe or something.
Right.
It's like I shot him. You know what I mean? It's like my intention. You only did it because you was worried about how everybody looked around you. You know what I mean? So my intention was some bullshit.
Right.
So with your intention being some bullshit, then me seeing the result of like, oh my God, look what I'm giving life to, and then on top of that, oh God, do this nigga think? Do this nigga because this music shit is weird and this internet is weird.
Right.
You know, I love these niggas, I really do. But like, bro, I'm not with y'all like this.
Right.
I'm not with y'all every day.
Right.
Y'all not with me every day.
Facts.
See, so now he's finally saying what a lot of us been wondering, because let's be honest, Cole's been doing a lot of glazing on this whatever you want to call it, interview tour he's on, and this is the first time he actually come out and say these cats don't really talk that much. They don't really talk that much. They cool, but they don't talk that much.
If enough headlines go around or enough chatter happens, you might start feeling like I really feel like that. And I mean, guess what? When we was locked in, nigga, I might talk to these niggas once a year.
Right.
Might be 2 years go by where we just check in. It's no ill will. It's just like, yo, your life, my life.
Right.
So imagine in the space, I'm like, oh, damn, did this nigga really think that I feel like this about it? Like, oh, and even how I'm telling you, it was way heavy. It was like, oh no. Right. Like sink in my chair, like, nah. Right. But at the same time, you done did it already.
Right.
Like, I've already done it. I've already like jumped into it.
How many of y'all actually believe in J. Cole? What he's actually saying? Because some of this stuff to me doesn't sound believable. I know he's saying it. I'm not gonna sit here and question him about it, but do y'all believe J. Cole when he says some of this stuff he's talking about in the interview? Do y'all really believe him? Because some of the stuff is just suspect. I gotta be real. I'm gonna keep it real. Some of this stuff is suspect to me. We're gonna jump into the interview. I want to start it out because we're not gonna watch the whole thing, but we're gonna lead up to when he started talking about K-Dot and everybody, and you know, it's another interesting interview. It's another interesting interview. It's J. Cole. You know, everybody got their own personalities, and you can't knock it, right? So let's get into this interview. It's a good interview. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good interview.
Yes.
Yeah, I should definitely.
Am I satisfied with what?
All right, I'm sorry.
Like if you were to ride off into the sunset.
Yes.
This was it?
Yeah, was this it?
Yes. No, I'm not saying
if we just
if.
Yeah, like
would I be good with
because
this?
as I'm listening to you, every time you achieve something, the goal shifted.
Yep.
So this was, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna give it 10 years, I'm gonna give it my heart and soul.
Yep.
Now it's out. We love it. We're enjoying it. You're proud of it. But has it lit another fire? Or are you like,
you know what it lit for me? It relit my love. So what I can say is like, it's out, and if 6 years go by and nobody heard another album from me, because it's just like, yo, it didn't come, I'd be cool, because it's like, yo, this exists for me as the last thing that y'all heard. However, what I didn't know what happened was me getting to this point right now. The beautiful thing is like, I'm hella inspired. Like I'm in love with this shit. Like I'm not saying I want to go make an album, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm not on some like, all right, I did it, I'm done, boom, boom. Like, no, I got visions and ideas, not for my own shit, but like really on some production shit. I'm excited about that, about helping. I'm excited about, I spent so long on me.
Yeah.
okay.
That it's like, I haven't had the ability. I've helped along the way. You know what I mean? It's people out there that could, you know, give their version of me helping and like diving in, but it was never to the ability that I know I could really help, because I was thinking about my own shit.
Right.
And while I'm juggling family life, fatherhood, while juggling basketball, still trying to stay in shape, while juggling all of this. So this, at least this being out and being the album that it's like, yo, I played that shit this morning. I went to the gym this morning. I had to get my lift in. I'm playing the album. And I'm just thinking like, bro, you still playing this bitch. And mind you, I was playing this shit months before the world got it.
Yeah.
Now it's out and I'm still playing it. Like, so that's the contentment right there. Is like, wow, you really made some shit that you a fan of that can hold you over for a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And because I don't have to worry about what's my next thing gonna be? Oh, what's my next project? For so long, even when I was dropping the all season, KOD, 4 Yards Only, Might Delete Later, I had this thing on my mind. Imagine you drop an album and you can't, you really just like, all right, that's out, but I'm still thinking about this other one that I'm working on. You know what I mean? So this is the first time where I don't have anything that I got to worry about finishing, and I can lock in on like the extracurricular shit that I want to dive into while I'm feeling inspired and in love.
All right, so how did you compartmentalize that then? Because if you were putting out all these albums and you still had the fall off in mind, right? And again, sidebar, like you've had a lot of proximity to a lot of great MCs and seeing their quote unquote fall off, right? Like, how did you sort of compartmentalize? Like, okay, this is for KOD, but fall off is still XYZ. Like, how did that process go about?
I had to see if it reached the bar. This song that I just made, I love this song that I just made. You know what I mean? Does it reach the bar of the fall off that I'm setting for myself? You know what I mean? Number one. And then number two, does it work conceptually? You know what I mean? Like it's still, I mean, my album, the fall off ain't about, the reason why I started making the fall off, the album is not about that. My album ain't about like, oh, I didn't want to fall off and I wanted to get better. The album's got way more like meaning and like, it has its own story and its own lessons and its own like journey in it outside of the original intentions. So,
hey, how y'all feel about the fall off? Let me know that in the comments. Make sure I hit the like button so more people could watch this video. I'm gonna let it run, man, because we got a little bit to get into within the next hour. It's a pretty long clip.
One, does it reach the bar? And two, does it work conceptually? There was a lot of songs that one I liked a lot, but they ain't necessarily reached the bar. I love these songs though, but it's like, if I'm telling the truth, you don't belong on the fall off. You don't really deserve to go on the fall off. There's some that I made that did deserve, they reached the bar. They did deserve to make the fall off. But timing wise, I might have felt more called to put it out earlier. You know what I mean? A Middle Child. It's a song off the off season called The Climb Back. That was a fall off song. The Climb Back, it's like, oh, that's a fall off song. But I'm like, once again, by the time I actually finish this album, I don't want to wait this long for this song to be heard. You know what I mean? Like, I want this song out now. So I'll sacrifice a Climb Back, you know what I mean, off my fall off album list and throw it over here. So how do I compartmentalize? I just had to have honest conversation with myself about like, yo, what's this for? You know what I mean? And then just trust that.
A lot of the album is very personal. You know what I mean? There's a lot of songs on there that you're talking about people that we don't even know, but like through context, we get to know. You know what I mean? That's like there's some dude in North Carolina that you had an issue with that was like, I don't even know this guy, but now now I want to know what's going on. Like, yo, was that part of-
He'll talk smack to them cats in North Carolina, but he won't face Dottie or Drake.
Because was that sort of like the overarching theme of the album of just being more personal and where you were when you were 29? And
it wasn't my original intention. Like I said, my original intention was just to get better. And then through getting better, what spills out is certain stories that spill out. And then I start to see like, oh, okay, it takes shape. I'm like, oh, what is this? Oh, this is like, I'm see the story that I'm telling through these songs. I'm seeing like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, it might take me, this happens when I write a verse. I might write a verse and like, I might not know what this song is about till I get to the 5th bar. Or the 8th bar. You know what I mean? I might not even know where this song is going, but I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting the words that if I get these words out and just keep following the words.
Is that like Russian roulette creativity right there? Like, I thought most people had an ending when they start creating it. That's what makes them so great. But I guess sometimes when you start creating, you don't know where it's going to end up. I mean, I'm not saying he ain't got great work. I'm just, J. Cole's just out there sometimes.
The song will take shape. Then by the 8th bar, I'm like, oh, this is a story about such and such. Or, oh, like Love Yours, the song Love Yours.
Love that.
I didn't know what that song was going to be about when I start, right? I just wrote it exactly how you hear it. And at a certain point, I was like, oh, I see what I'm saying. I see what the message that's trying to be delivered. So, you know, you make enough songs. Now it's like, oh, I see the shape that this is taking. This is a story of like me going back home at the height of my career You know what I mean? And like all of these things that I deal with when that happened at this time in my life, when I was at a crossroads. The album is like the first disc 29 is like me at a time before I got married, when I was like at a crossroads in my life with three things. One, my girlfriend at the time, now wife, who had been my girl for a very long time at that point. Two, this craft that I've been, my other love. It's like three loves of my life that both discs are about. But at 29, I'm at a crossroad with the love of my life, the woman, the love of my life, the craft that I've been doing since I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? And then three, the love of my life, the city that raised me, birthed me, not birthed me because I was born in Germany, but raised me since I was 1 year old, like helped me adjust and adapt to the world, taught me, you know what I mean? Scolded me, like all of these things. And, you know, everybody know like my songs is like from the come up, I'm putting on for the city you never heard about in Carolina that you never heard about. Everybody know I had nothing but a love relationship. But on disc 29, at 29 years old, you find me at a time where even the city that I love, I'm looking at different. I'm not appreciating any of those three things, those three loves on the first disc, the way that I have previously in my life and the way that I do on disc 39. You find me on 29 at a crossroads with all of those. It could have went bad with all of those. I could have made a bad mistake with that one, you know what I mean? Everybody know that one that you know, the one that's supposed to be your wife. So many people got stories of that, but sometimes she don't become your wife. Sometimes you trick it off and you fuck it up. You know what I mean? So like, I was at a crossroads with that. I was at a crossroads with this craft. I told you, I was like, I could retire right now. I'm kind of over this J. Cole shit anyways. Tired of rapping about myself. Like, that's how I was feeling at the time. I'm tired of this box that I feel like I got to go outside and like, or even in my rhymes, I got to be boom, boom. And then the third was the city. Like, damn, I'm tired of coming back to this motherfucker. Somebody always got something to say. You know what I mean? Like, niggas hating, boom, boom, boom. I'm feeling like the weight and the burden of like survivor's guilt or whatever they, you know, whatever they call it. So
yeah, that's right.
I'm rambling, but that was but I didn't know. That wasn't my intention when I sat down to make the album.
Gotcha.
That's what I realized as these songs was coming out. That's what I realized I was saying.
Gotcha. It's impossible to ramble on this show.
I was like, you're not rambling. You weren't rambling at all. You're not rambling at all.
There's a couple songs I want to ask you about off the album and specific lyrics also. Like on the Fall Off is Inevitable, you're talking about the so-called, you were signed by the so-called kings or the so-called goats or whatever.
Yes.
Not saying that was a shot at Jay or whatever, but a lot of eyebrows were raised.
Of course,
I was like,
absolutely wasn't.
What was that about?
You know what's crazy is when the song dropped and people started saying what they said.
This is the whole Jay-Z reference. A lot of people hit him up on this.
Saying it was the first time I was like, oh shit. I ain't mean it like that, but I didn't even realize they would take it like that. But I'm like, oh, I see what they saying. But like, if you read it like that, if you read it a certain way, it's like, oh shit, why you say it like that? But it was not the intention. In my mind, it was just like, yo, so-called king. Like they do call, nigga, I call him a king. You know what I mean? So-called, and I feel like there was a Biggie line in my mind that it's like, since then I'm like, nigga, that line don't exist. Like there's a Biggie line that I thought I was referencing where it's like, yo, I don't think you was really referencing that. You know what I mean? But nah. It wasn't until they said that I was like, oh shit, that can be taken a certain type of way.
Especially because, you know what I mean, you're unabashed Nas fan. Let Nas Down's a big record, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm also unabashed Jay-Z the same way. It's like literally, I say, now signing my hero, one of the, like, people hear that like I'm throwing a shot when really I'm saying a line like this. Now signing my hero, one of the so-called kings of this rap thing that I swear to usurp. That's the line where it's like I'm a young, just like Kobe trying to take MJ spot or something, or like trying to go at MJ. That's the line that you could talk about and say something about that I swear to usurp. It's like, of course, it's just me being a kid at that time in a rhyme. I'm putting you in the shoes of me as a teenager or whatever. That's me saying like, yo, one day I'm gonna get there. One day I'm gonna surpass you. And not just him. I was looking at everybody like that. You know what I mean? Like, so, but that line, particular, that phrase, so-called, I didn't mean it no type of way, but when people said it, I'm like, I see what y'all saying, but that was not the intention.
Well,
I feel you.
Have y'all spoken since? Like y'all stopped?
Nah, we ain't spoken since then, but that wouldn't be the reason why we not speaking. You know what I mean? I doubt he would feel a way about that.
I was about to ask if you got tickets to the Yankee show,
but he still didn't say if they're actually on speaking terms. Yeah, I see how he kind of dodged that question right there. Is him and Jay talking, or they? You don't even know what's going on. It seems like everybody's angry since Kung Fu Kenny came in and just tore everything up. Everybody's fighting. Nobody's getting along.
It's crazy, right?
You know, I'm hot because I'm actually hot because it's on the first day of my tour.
Yeah.
Both shows.
See, that's how you got beef, son.
Bro, I'm sad. Like
Is that a sign? Jay was like, yo, I'm gonna book it on the first day so he can't come.
go to the Roots joint because like, yo, I can't miss that. You know what I mean? But I'm sad. Those is my two favorite Jay albums.
That's a fact.
Reasonable Doubt and Blueprint. Of course, he got many fire albums, but them two specifically, I'm hurt.
You've had proximity to some of the greatest of all time. You know what I mean? A lot of the concept of the fall off is seeing their trajectories and all that type of stuff. But what did being around that level of greatness, especially during your feature run, when you was just going around, just hopping on people's songs, all that type of stuff, what did being around different types of skill level and greatness sort of shape and teach you about your own craft and making this album?
I missed the first part of the question.
So the first part I want to say is, earlier in the show, I said the fall off, you talked about, oh, this is how people get complacent. This is how folks, feel like they're off. But you've had proximity to greatness. You mentioned Jay, we mentioned Nas, damn, big three, obviously, Ye, everybody. Anybody who's been anybody, you've been around. And then there was a period before the fall off where you were just hopping on records, doing feature records, new dudes, old dudes, whoever. How did that process altogether of collaboration sort of shape your last project?
I think the feature run out of all of that, because even the proximity you're talking about, it's like I don't have a creative proximity with those greats that you're talking about.
Right.
I just have a fan proximity. I'm just a fan that got to get close at times. You know what I mean? But it's like if I never would have met Jay or Nas, they still would have fed. If my proximity was only that of a fan, they still would have fed my skill and my hunger, you know what I mean? And like they would be the reason why I am where I am, or I got to wherever I got. Even if I didn't sign to Jay,
right,
he would be the reason why I made it to where I made it, because he gave me so much without knowing he gave me so much in terms of, first of all, ambition. Jay fed a lot of our ambition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Showing us what's possible, showing us like he just embodied like
That's why Jay-Z one of the GOATs. He's one of my GOATs. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no top 5. I just got top GOATs. That's it.
You can do it. I did it.
Yeah, an
mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But beyond that, then you have a skill level and a craft level that I get from all of them. But to answer your question, the feature run did a lot for me actually being able to accomplish what I accomplished on the fall off, because it's like the feature run tested me. Basically, the start of the feature run was me saying like, yo, let me just say yes to any time a feature come. That was my challenge to myself. One of my ways to try to get better, I was like, yo, when a feature come, yo, just come my back in the days.
Going platinum with no features.
My damn near my
That's always been a joke against J. Cole. And yo, if you can make an album go platinum without no features on it, you're a true artist. You're gonna be all right on your own. So you don't always need features to survive, but I think features help you broaden your horizon and create a little more
instant reaction to a feature coming through, especially if I don't know the artist. I'm just like, I just really don't have an interest. We don't got no relationship. I was kind of like closed off. But a couple features started coming through the pipeline, and I'm like, yo, let me just say yes. Like, let me just challenge myself to say yes to everything that comes through the door, no matter who it is, damn near. And that shit, like, it challenged me to work with different types of artists, get on different types of beats. 1 minute I got to rap with Royce the 5'9", you know what I mean? Next minute I got to rap with 21 Savage. Next minute I got to rap with Lil Durk. Next minute I got to rap. It's like it challenged me to I don't know, to be more versatile. I pride myself on versatility anyways, but it sharpened my versatility. Where it's like, yo, I got to go show up in many different arenas. It's like a track athlete. I got to go do mad events. I got to go do the dunk contest, the 3-point contest, the skills challenge. You know what I mean? Like, it was like that for me.
Okay.
Wow. So why don't more artists have that mentality? Right? Because on the flip side of that coin, there's a lot of artists who do not like to do those features like that, who's not willing to allow themselves to jump out there like that because of the pushback that they may get from those features, right?
Like the purists, like if I work with such and such, it's going to look lame. Or
yeah,
it's
just like I don't, you know, some people just be so like you just sat there and said, I had to look at myself and challenge myself to say yes to just features that's coming, and I've been so closed off from that. Not because you're not ready to, your penmanship ain't tight. It's because you just ain't, you're not feeling the person. Most artists is turning those features down because they feel personally that they not really ready for that feature. You get what I'm saying?
The
so
other
they don't.
person not
the
ready.
other person,
right.
like, the other artist is not ready for that
there you
feature.
Go. No, you're right. I think it's a brand thing. It's like,
oh, that word.
You know what I mean? It's like a brand thing. Like consciously a brand. I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it quiet and mysterious, and I can't just be. You know what I mean? And I get it. I don't
too available.
Yeah, I don't want to just be too accessible, and I understand that because that was probably me back in the days too. Like I don't know, but to me, what I get out of also community, like when I link with an artist, you know what I mean? It's just like, nah, fuck with him. Like now we connected. We had a great conversation. Randomly, we talking about random shit. Just this hour conversation. Now I feel like I done downloaded your story. You know what I mean? That's what happened with Savage, 21 Savage. Like first time we talked was probably at like Made in America. Jay, I think maybe Jay was performing or something. But backstage at Made in America, we talked. And it's just like, I'm gonna fuck with this dude. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't even know what to expect. Not that I expected anything, but I fuck with what I got. You know what I mean? And then he ended up sending me a song. The song he sent me was more like some shit that I think he thought
you would like.
I would like.
Yeah.
Instead of like, and I'm like, sometimes it's the hard part too, telling the artist like,
nah.
Cause I'm gonna be 100 with you. Like, yo, I don't think this the one for us. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I think there's a better song for us. You know what I mean? I told that at 21, I feel like low key, he probably was like, this nigga trying to play me. You know what I mean? He didn't say this. He probably was like, all right, cool, no doubt. But he never sent me another joint.
Yeah.
So I think low key, he probably thought that was my way of trying to flee him or something.
Okay.
When really it wasn't. I was genuinely like, there's some shit they gonna expect me to be on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to do the shit that they don't expect me to be. I want to come to your world and show up as me. How do I look in your world? I don't want you to send me the joint that you think is in my world. I want to come to your world, and that's the real test for me. I know I can do what you already think I can do.
I'm the body work, obviously.
So let me just finish this album first. Yeah, I just love the competition of it. One, but two, more than I can't miss that. You know what I mean? But my skill and my hunger, you know what I mean? And like they would be the reason why I am where I am, or I got to wherever I got. Even if
what I was going to say was, I like what he talked about there, because a lot of artists, like you see a lot of these artists today who all sound the same, all sound alike. And back in the day, when you went on somebody's song, you went on that song to create something that they normally create. You get into their world. And you don't see that a lot anymore. You just see artists following each other back and forth.
It says the skills challenge, you know what I mean? Like it was like that for me.
Okay. So why don't more artists have that mentality? Right? Because on the flip side,
maybe Jay was performing or something.
Yeah, let me.
I don't
too available.
Yeah, I don't want to just be too accessible. And I understand that maybe Jay was performing or something. But backstage at Made in America, we talked. And it's just like, I'm gonna fuck with this dude. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know what to expect. Not that I expected anything, but I fuck with what I got. You know what I mean? And then he ended up sending me a song. The song he sent me was more like some shit that I think he thought
you would like.
I would like.
Yeah.
Instead of like, and I'm like,
all right, we back to our spot now.
Sometimes it's the hard part too, telling the artist like,
nah,
because I'm gonna be 100 with you. Like, yo, I don't think this the one for us. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I think there's a better song for us. You know what I mean? I told that at 21, I feel like low key, he probably was like, this nigga trying to play me. You know what I mean? He didn't say this. He probably was like, all right, cool, no doubt. But he never sent me another joint.
Yeah.
So I think low key, he probably thought that was my way of trying to flee him or something.
Okay.
When really it wasn't. I was genuinely like, there's some shit they gonna expect me to be on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to do the shit that they don't expect me to be. I want to come to your world and show up as me. How do I look in your world? I don't want you to send me the joint that you think is in my world. I want to come to your world, and that's the real test for me. I know I can do what you already think I can do. Like,
because I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. You know what I mean? That's why you can't.
And that's a real artist right there. And this is what I love to see in an artist. That's why Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite artists of all time. He was good at doing that. Jay-Z was good at doing that. Drake is good at doing that. But it comes to the point now where in today you see too much of it, where guys aren't trying to create together. They just be like, oh, I'll follow what you're doing. We'll just let it roll.
Ain't I mean for that, but I'd rather go to your thing. So I ended up actually going to the studio with 21 when he was finishing his album. Randomly, like, yo, you still working? And that's how the A Lot joint came to be. But I don't even remember the original question, but shit.
Okay, but now I got another question.
Okay.
How many features didn't work because of that energy? You was like, it's not about you not stretching yourself. It's about you being like, that's just not the one.
Not many, because I usually figured it out with the person. Like when it was like an initial, like, y'all don't think that's the one? We usually ended up finding the one. There's a few people that come to my mind where I'm like, fuck, like I ain't get to do that with such and such and such. There are a few.
Okay.
But the overwhelming majority, we figured it out. You know what I mean? And I will say the Dirk joint is a joint where I actually was telling him like, yo, I don't think that's the one. Cause it was so positive that once again, I'm like, yo, they expect me on this. I didn't even want to get on the other shit.
Let me come your way.
Yeah, like, yo.
And then again, sometimes you ain't got to try to reinvent the wheel, right? Dirk was like, listen, bro, I know this is going to work. I need something to work right now. I don't need no experiment. I need something to work. And he was right.
It's on the chorus.
It was so positive. But he actually convinced me. He was so sure. Like usually if I tell somebody that, they'll be like, all right, cool. We'll find another one or something. He was like, bro, trust me. Like, please, like, nah, like. And so I'm like, all right, let me give it a couple more listens. And that's how that happened. He actually pushed back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but.
And that's one of the bigger features that I run too, man. It's how you play it every day, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Man,
that's like Annie,
right.
That's this Annie. This generation.
You say what?
That's this
like,
generation Annie.
Nah, for sure.
I got to talk about the Big Three conversation. Okay. I watched your conversation with Cam earlier today.
You didn't watch the conversation with Cam. Unfortunately, you watched clips.
I watched clips of the conversation with Cam.
I'm like, man, shout out to Cam. Like, but man, just drop the whole thing. Because the joint don't come out till like tomorrow night, I think.
Okay.
On TV, and then they put it out on YouTube the next day.
Gotcha.
But in my mind, I'm like, bruh, just because even the clips, I seen
no
the clip.
context in it,
bro. First of all, there's no context in the clip, and they're clipping the clip, they're editing the clip.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? So it's like, yo, in my mind, I'm just like, no, you didn't see. You saw a clip where they then edited.
Well, there's one clip
where
we talk about. You spoke to Drake and Kendrick since the whole thing has went down, and there's definitely a few lines, few songs, few things I just want to get your perspective on, because again, we haven't seen the full video yet. But there's a line that Kendrick said, during I want to say during Not Like Us, when he said, did Cole foul? I don't know why you pretending. And I never really understood what that meant.
I love the fact that they're asking him questions that fans wanted to know. These are things we all want to know, right? I love the fact that they're doing that.
The tax deadline is approaching. We all know how stressful the old ways of filing that moves the way you do.
Oh, I actually don't know.
Really?
Like on my side,
that moves the way you do. Seamless,
right,
intelligent, and built for real life.
Right in the middle of one of the most important questions.
That's Xfinity Mobile. Staying connected at all times, wherever you go.
I honestly don't know either. Like I can't tell you.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what I mean? But shit. I couldn't tell you. If I could tell you, I would tell you.
The relationship has definitely had to shift, had to be different than it was, 10 years ago, a couple years ago now.
Talking about the relationship?
Yeah, with
on
Drake
my side,
and
no. I actually don't know.
Really?
Like on my side, absolutely not.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I feel the same way. But I can't. A relationship is two ways. So I actually couldn't sit here and tell you, like, I don't know how they feel about, about me. You know what I mean? I can genuinely tell you that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So basically, they're not talking from what he's saying, right? That's what I'm getting. Let me know in the comments if you think different, because it seemed like could you think about it? What would make two artists pull songs off of your record? That means we ain't talking no more, right? They beefing for real. What did Cole really do though?
But for me, it's the same.
So if there was a olive branch to be reached between all three? You know what I'm saying? Like, would you be the
All
one to
three?
sort of, yeah.
Like all ways of the three?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel
Oh,
like
I
it's
would
a
love
connective
that,
tissue
but-
between the two.
I would love
you know?
that, but I don't.
I don't know if Drake and Kendrick ever
That's
find
what I'm
their way,
saying.
but
Like,
you know what I'm saying? You
You
seem
that
like the
ain't
person who's
happening.
kind of like Switzerland in the situation.
oh yeah, I mean, I would love that. You know what I mean? But I don't
You don't
know
foresee
how-
it?
Maybe in time
Yeah.
or something. You know what I mean? Not speaking for myself. I'm just
Right.
putting myself in their shoes. Just like,
Let's just be honest. Did we ever think Jay-Z and Nas will have conversation or be cool? They cool. I'm not saying that Jay-Z and Nas is Kendrick and Drake, but you never know. Things change over time.
I don't know.
That's
I mean,
you know what I mean?
that's
Like,
asking a lot.
I don't know. And maybe they, I don't know.
I mean, listen, we've lived through a
That alone right there tell you how much he think everything is factured. Because it's to the point where the big three ain't even talking no more. They not even talking anymore. None of them.
lot of great rap beefs over the years, and almost all of them we've eventually saw some sort of reconciliation, some sort of something where they're together. We've seen with Jay and
Yeah, I
Nas,
would
we've
love
seen
it,
with
bro. I
Jeezy
would
and
love
Gucci.
it.
We've seen a lot of people, and you'd love to see it, but again,
yeah, I would love to see it. It would be a beautiful day.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? For hip hop,
mm-hmm,
and I think and for the world, if we got to see that moment.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I think, but if I had to put money on it,
Don't see it.
not no time soon.
Yeah.
Maybe not at a time when we all like, that shit'll heal the world right now.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
know what I mean? Like that shit'll do a lot right now. Like 5 years from now, I don't know if we gonna love to see it at any time.
Of course.
But right now it's like, yo.
Because every combination of y'all three made incredible music together, no matter when it was,
Not for sure. I mean, yes, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cole is in Fayetteville, man. That's basically what he said, man. I'm over here, man. I'm in the Civic. Man.
It's nothing I can really give you on that.
I'm in the Civic, man.
I mean, even in addition to that, man, just because it's a conversation that everybody has taught to death for the past 2 years, and people just pick up breadcrumbs throughout lyrics and throughout songs about just the relationship between the three. I think on Evil Ways he says something like, Drake is in his devil state or something.
No, I didn't say devil. I said I don't know the line. Something demon phase.
Demon phase.
Right,
That's
right,
what it
right,
was.
right.
My fault. He
Yeah,
says
yeah,
demon phase. You understand and all that type of
Right.
stuff. And it's like, all three of y'all, man. I don't think there's an era of music in the past 2 decades without the three of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And now, post beef, post Not Like Us, post all this type of stuff, that's just sort of settled, and you still don't really see if there's a way that they'll find themselves together. But Ja Rule was on the show a few months ago, and we talked about it, and he was just like, he doesn't think beef is really good for hip hop. He said, like, if we sort of take ourselves away from it and just look at everything that sort of happened since then, he's like, I don't think it's a net positive. What are your thoughts, just as far as like everything?
I feel unqualified to even.
Oh, stop.
I mean, he's taking the easy way out, but let's just be real. Asking that question to Ja Rule, who the term of losing a rap beef is called getting Ja Rule. Do you think he would agree with that? Let's just be honest. Now, I could understand the political part or the business aspect. No, somebody image get damaged. Like Drake image is damaged right now. Y'all could say, oh, I think Drake won the beef. Who's in court suing for defamation? Let's just be honest. His image is ruined. And good old Jigga must have took some money from the rest of those billionaires. And he said, listen, you know what? We need to help. You need to help us clean up Drake's image. And I think that what Jay-Z is doing right now. He's running PR for Drake because it's a whole lot more money to make. And I'm telling you what, his image right now is broken, very bad. Let's just be honest.
No, I'm not.
You're very
I'm not playing with
qualified.
you. Nah,
Yeah.
because it's like, yo, but you talking about the person that in the whole situation apologized. That's my what's gonna go down as my participation in that event.
Right.
He right.
If I had my shoes on the other feet of somebody else, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear my opinion on whether I think beef is good or bad
Right.
for hip hop. It's like, bro, it's like, it don't matter. Honestly, who gives a fuck? Actually, you know what I mean? If we really want to keep it real, but definitely who gives a fuck about my opinion? That's how I feel. It's like I would feel crazy to even sit up here and go, yeah, I think it's great for the culture. Boom, boom, nigga, you apologize. And I would feel crazy to sit up here and go, nah, I think it's a net negative.
You know what? You're right about that. And I told people before, J. Cole could never get in another rap beef, and Drake could never get in another rap beef. And I don't think there's anybody that, I don't think Kenny's ever going to really reply to anybody and get into a serious rap beef again. I think that ship has taught a lot of lessons. People are shooting shots, but they ain't ready for that smoke. So I'm going to be.
For the coach, nigga, you apologize. Like, it's, I'm not interested in giving that to the world. And I doubt they interested in hearing it. You know what I mean?
Okay. No, I can respect that.
Such a good answer.
I can respect that. I mean, listen, I feel like
I'll be honest, we want to hear it. As corny as it may sound, J. Cole, we still want to hear it because we understand you're different. You're different. Drake's different. Kenny's different. And we understand your personality. So, yeah, we do want to hear it. Even if you apologize, yeah, we're going to feel a certain way because you apologize after all you do is have big, tough talk. But when real things happen, you apologize. So, yeah. But listen, now that I realize you apologize because of those verses, which eventually got removed, now I understand what the apology was about. So I don't hold it to you that bad.
Fan of yours, I think even when it first happened and when you backed out and people were seeing all the crazy stuff being said about each other, a lot of people respected your foresight to just be like, you know what? I'm going to fall back from this. This doesn't seem like it sits right with my spirit. And even, I saw, you talk on the Deska as well. And you mentioned sort of like the process you went through with your wife and everybody before that apology took place, man. And, it's just, I don't know. I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit. I think people do want to kind of hear where you stand off, and because you had that foresight to be like,
I think so.
This doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, but that's all I can speak on. I can only speak on how I felt at the time, and it wasn't foresight in the sense of like I knew anything that was happening. I just knew how I felt. It wasn't foresight. It was hindsight, if anything.
Okay.
It was like, oh God, I can just feel how I feel. You know what I mean? On my heart and on my spirit. So it's like there was no magic ball that I knew. I had no clue how that shit was gonna go. Like, to tell you the truth, I actually feel like how I probably thought it would go was a little more regular than even how it went. It outdid anything I could have imagined. You know what I mean? In terms of like how tense that shit got and how entertaining it got to the world. You know what I mean? It's like I couldn't have foresaw none of that shit. Like I just knew how I felt. So that's all I could speak to.
Got you.
Even me earlier speaking to them, whether they get back together or whatever, where they quit, I can't speak to that. Like even me saying I don't think so, it's like that. Even that's silly. It's like, what the fuck do I know? All I can tell you is how I feel or how I felt and why I.
Cole sounds hurt. I'm gonna be honest. He sounds hurt right there, right? He sounds hurt that they ain't talking to him. They pull, because think about this. And I dropped a video earlier today about the fall off. If the fall off had Drake and Kendrick Lamar featured on this album, it would be a classic album. Just think about the songs they would create, knowing Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. I'm not saying collabs. Drake was on songs with Cole, and Kendrick was on a song with Cole. You know what I mean? So he was the guy in the middle to begin with, but he screwed that up big time. But just imagine if we were able to witness that. This album would have went down as a legendary album because we know, as far as today, still today, Drake and Kendrick would never do another collaboration. And he was able to get both artists on the same album, and you screwed that up, Cole? Man, I feel for you, bro. I understand.
I did what I did or why I do what I do. I can't speak. And yes, you're right. Does the world probably want to hear that? Maybe. You know what I mean? But I don't want to give it. And all it's going to do is feed the algorithm scavengers that fucking whole existence is predicated off of going through this interview where we saying a lot of real shit and just looking for the thing that's going, that they audience that don't give a fuck about none of us on these couches can grab and have a conversation about it. There you go.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not giving y'all that. Fuck out of here.
That's
Like,
big. That's
I love that.
I got a different perspective. I
that's
said this
foresight
earlier.
again, though.
You know what I mean? Like I said this earlier, like
Yeah.
in another episode when that shit was going on, and it was like the apology, right?
Yeah, that's what I say. If I'm hoping at some point these songs get leaked and released, because there's so many of these songs that's hidden. And I know some people may say, oh, it could be outdated. Let me tell you something. When Kendrick Duckworth himself writes a verse, it is timeless. It is timeless. So I'm just trying to think of where Kendrick and Cole heads would be. What would they create together? Because we haven't really been able to get that. And this album would have been legendary. It would have been legendary. It would have been talked about. Cole would have got his first number one on his number one. He would have got a few of them, I'm sure.
He's stamping what I felt at that time, because it's like, yo, I'm not my part. I'm manning up to my part and what I did. I'm taking ownership as a man. I'm taking ownership as somebody who was I got other shit in my life that's going on. I got family. I got shit that's going on that I ain't really, he said he didn't know what was going on. I didn't know that shit was going to play out the way it played out. So you know what? I'm going to bow out gracefully. I'm leaving out of here because that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. So because I'm a man and going through this journey, I'm going to say, yo, I apologize for any part that I played in the bullshit that's going on.
Yeah.
For me, that's honorable. Like, however way some people take this shit is very honorable to just, in the heat of the battle like that. Now, the competition part of it is like, nah, Cole shouldn't have fucking apologized. Cole, we want to hear Cole shoot them shots, boom, boom, boom. You can't shoot and then take the bullet back. You get what I'm saying? That was the image, the message at that point in time, the responses that was coming back.
Right.
But when you get through the weeds and all of that shit, I'm my own man at the end of the day.
100%.
If I can stand on what I stand on, if I can see my vision, which I ain't see the 10-year vision for the fall off, but if I know my vision and I know my journey, I'm here to get better. I ain't here to bring the bullshit. I'm alleviate myself out of this. That takes more power and more vulnerability to make that decision in the heat of what the fuck was going on.
And be ready to take what comes with it.
Is there anybody now that still blames J. Cole for apologizing, knowing how it turned out? I mean, yeah, we still would have want to see Cole battle, but I mean, no one is upset with him. Yeah, he ruined himself, his image when it comes to that tough talk and rap. But at the end of the day, seeing where it went, one of the biggest artists in the world right now may never recover. Yeah, he's gonna still sell records to his fans, but when you're a big international superstar as big as Drake is, and to push the needle, you need other fans. It's not just yours. When you're able to go in and pick up other fans, that's what make you a superstar. When your songs are played for everyone, not just your fan. Everybody coming out of here. And that's what Drake has lost. He's lost that superpower. And that's why I believe Jay-Z is there to help clean that up. If you're checking in, make sure you hit the like button. Get this video out to more people. Let me know down in the comments how you're feeling about this whole tour that this man's going on. J. Cole's telling it all.
Be ready to stand on it.
Right.
Word up.
The other part of it though too is like, you said it. You didn't realize how entertaining it would be, right? Like for all of us that consume, it's an entertaining, but there's a real person, a real artist. You know what I'm saying? Like that
when I say entertaining to the world.
To the world, correct.
For sure.
I know exactly what you meant when you said that. But there's a real person going through this. And I think when I think of your body work, and I'm gonna tell you this, Cole, I don't do a whole lot of new folks. You one of my artists that I will turn on the new stuff. I don't turn on new stuff too often, but when you drop something, I would check it out. And just listening to you on this couch today, like the body of work makes so much sense because it feels like you have taken us on a journey with you in each of these chapters of your life. Like I feel like I can still, like I can't listen to all these little young dudes. I just can't. But if you drop something, like we've grown up together, right? Like it is a story, and to make that decision in that moment was mature.
Absolutely.
That shows growth, right? So I remember when that happened, and I was like, what are y'all talking about? Like, that's totally the move.
I appreciate it. And what I will say to that too is like, I appreciate the words that y'all saying. Thank you. But I also feel a little conflicted because like, yo, there's no part of me that did it. Y'all could be up here like, Cole, I was disappointed in you and boom, boom. And I'd be like, man, I respect that. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't affect me. I'm not looking for affirmation. I don't want no affirmation or praise. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that have said that to me. Yo, Cole, I respect what you did. And I do appreciate it. But just know, like, there's no part of me that want like a pat on the back for that. It's cool because all I did, and I did Cam interview, you've seen clips, but you ain't seen
the clips.
Me and Cam go all the way. Like he asked me and I gave him everything. You know, I have a hard time not being honest. Like if you ask me a question, I'm damn near a dangerous interview because it's like, I feel like I got to answer that shit with what's in my heart. And I gave Cam all of that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to say the exact same things that I said on Cam on here because it's there. But so when by the time this come out, people would have already seen that. But what I will say, just for perspective of you, because you ain't seen the Cam interview, you know what I mean? And for all of y'all, it's like, yo, I didn't just do that because it was like sitting wrong in my spirit. It didn't feel right. I did that because I was genuinely wrong.
Absolutely.
And this is why I was wrong.
Okay.
I didn't just do it because like, man, y'all, this don't feel right. No, I was in the wrong. And this is why I was in the wrong. One, I was in the wrong because I misrepresented myself and how I feel.
I love the way he breaks this down. And I love that they asking him a lot of questions that the fans want to know. You know, a lot of time they get on these shows and they ask some of these celebrity questions, which we don't care about. We want to know what's going on in this story y'all been telling us for the last 2 years. You know what I mean? Because to us, we're on here telling a story as well. And we want questions answered. So I like the fact that he's going to get into a little stuff right here. Let him cook.
About this person to the world, period, point blank. That's the first wrong. But the wrong that supersedes that is the reason why I did the wrong. The reason why I did the wrong was the wrongest wrong of all. I did that wrong, misrepresented myself, boom, 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 because I was afraid that if I didn't come out and do something, at least say something, like at least try to make it seem like I'm doing this, then this thing that I've been working on for 8 years at the time, this album that I've been working on and was done at that time, will come out and they not gonna let me put it out.
The timing,
They gonna say nope, we don't want to hear it.
So basically, he put out 7-minute drill to protect the fall off. He didn't want to drop the fall off without showing that he's somewhat of the big three.
Nah, nigga, you still ain't addressed, dude. We don't want to hear that shit. So my fear of fucking up the public reception of this thing that I've been working so hard on, like looking back, I give myself a little grace. Like I understand why I had the fear. I've been working on it for mad long, and I was also tired and exhausted. And my thought was, oh no, this shit that I've been doing that I'm so proud of, if I put this out without saying something, I did it for nothing, damn near. It's a bad, and that's a bad thought. That's a wrong thought. Because the true clear thought in that moment is, man, who gives a fuck? Like this shit ain't about that. It's about this. The clear thought would have been, man, whatever they got going on, even if I was more directly involved in that, even if Kendrick Lamar would have came out of his mouth and been like, fuck J. Cole, boom, boom, boom. Even if that was the case.
Did he just say Kendrick's name? He said the whole thing. You don't hear that too often. He just said his whole name. Uh-oh.
A clear version of me would have been like, man, let him have that. And he didn't do nothing close to that. And I still let the fear of what the perception would be on this album dictate my next move, which was a dumb move. Because now you got to stand behind this.
Yeah.
Forever, nigga. You got to stand by. You got to go pretend like this really represents you.
Right.
Unless, and I wasn't thinking this until an hour before I went on stage, unless you now come and correct how you feel to the same world that you misrepresented yourself, and to him as well. You know what I mean? Let me let y'all know exactly who I am.
Okay.
Because I fucked up. You know what I mean? I fucked up and folded under pressure. And there's a lot even more into the story where I could tell you the week leading up to that song coming out, and like the conversations that was had in the
Tell it, Cole.
the back and forth I had internally,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately fear won. You know what I mean? That's all I can really tell you in a nutshell. The fear won that day.
Yeah.
But it didn't win 2 days later. You know what I mean? Like the real me won. And then to your point, I got to take everything that come with it. And guess what?
Your the competitiveness.
That's what I'm getting.
I'm hearing the competitiveness got you to that point of I gotta say something. Because there's no way you can hear that competitively and not want to sharpen my pen too. And like I have to say something back. I have to respond some way, somehow.
No, I can't say it was competitive. Competitively is different though.
Yeah.
Competitive is like, I wish I could tell you it was competitiveness. Because competitive is another, like, yo, me competitive is what the fuck I've been doing for the past 10 years.
Right.
That's me competitive. Me sharpening my pen, me popping up on this song, that song, my own songs, and doing what I do. That's competitive to me.
Right.
Like, I wish I could tell you that competitiveness made me do that, put out that song. That wasn't competitive, nigga. That was straight fear. That was a bozo move. Like, because actually, I knew as I'm doing that song and as I'm recording that song and I'm putting it out, man, this is just enough to look like I did something. And that's my man. Like, he gonna probably give me 1 or 2 lines. He might give me a little.
I buy that. At least he honest. He coming up with a good story and it's viable. You know, he got scared. He wanted to protect the fall off, the album he's been working on for 10 years. And he know if he didn't put something out and this battle went down, the fall off would have crashed. But what ended up happening, as far as what I can see, is Drake and Kenny pulled their verses from his album and they had to redo the whole thing anyway. So at the end of the day, Cole, maybe you should have stayed in the beef. Maybe you should have got in. Maybe you should have punched and squabbled, because from what I'm hearing, y'all ain't talking right now anyway. It seemed like everybody's out there doing their own thing.
Verse, boom, boom. And I was willing to just take that. I just wanted to get past this moment so I could get to the album.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's not competitive. That's far from competitive, nigga. That's. I wish I could tell you it was competitive.
You're right.
I'll be a little more proud. You know what I mean? If that was competitive,
right.
But that wouldn't look like that.
Would you have decided differently if the order was reversed? Like if the album was out and then all this happened, would you let your competitive spirit sort of take over? Or that?
This is a very good question. I love this question. The question is, if he had already dropped the fall off, if the fall off was already out, would you have engaged in this rap beef?
Album was that important to get out first.
It depends though, because like, it's also weird because I know how I feel about this man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and I know how he feel about me. At least, you know, through our communications and our dealings, it's like, damn, like, you know, I know how we feel about each other. So I know it's not actually a problem there.
For sure.
So what does competitiveness look like when you know you ain't got a problem with somebody? But then you also, at the same time, are lumped in with somebody that you might actually have a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm not lumped in because you necessarily said, fuck me. But that's a great area in itself. So to your point, you're basically asking like, yo, if the fall off was out and then that happened, would my competitiveness had like kicked in, or would I have been more willing to like, quote unquote, compete?
Right.
Well, then it depends on what you call competition. Cause it's like, yo, would I have been willing to take it where they took it?
Yeah.
With him or him? Absolutely not. Like, if that's competitiveness, I for sure would have lost.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't have been willing to take it there. And if I was willing to take it there, it only would have been because I was worried about what the world gonna say. So then even if I did take it there and somehow demolish or boom, 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 I still lost.
The fear.
Because my heart would be feeling like, nigga, you did that so that people would say that you better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's so it depends on what you define as competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So in all this,
I mean, I think it's a good answer, because at the end of the day, K-Dot and Drake got hate for each other, so they can literally have a real spat, a real whatever you want to call it, where it wouldn't make sense for him to go after either one of them because they cool. So that's a pretty good answer. He had an out and he took it. Do I believe him? I don't know. Do y'all believe him? Let me know.
What's your personal compass? What it feels like on your spirit?
100%. My heart.
Period.
Yeah. Because I'm either clear enough to listen and be in tune with what's on my heart and to go with that, or I'm in a place where I'm not present enough. Shit is cloudy. I'm stressed. I'm living in more fear than usual, and I can't tap in with what my heart is actually saying or what my spirit is actually saying. And in that confusion, you liable to do some fugazi shit. You know what I mean? Like.
Yo, and think about this. If the fall off had came out before the rap beef, we would have heard the Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole songs. So I definitely don't think that he would have got engaged in that beef if you really think about it, because that would have been out, and who knows, maybe they all would have shown up at Dreamsville together. You never know.
So, but my compass is this. Like, yo, how does that feel? And guess what? Emotions are like valid. Like fear is valid, anger is valid. All of these are valid things. But to move off of them and then make a decision off of them, that's when it's like, oh, okay. You enter a territory where you go from feeling like the victim to actually being in the wrong. You know what I mean? Like, even if the world don't say it, you know in your heart, you ain't have to take it like that. You ain't have to take it to that level. Not speaking about for myself. I'm just talking about on an everyday level. People justify the fuck shit they do to somebody else because that person did something to them first. You know what I mean? It's like, and they ain't always gonna be, and I'm not no different, but it's like, it's always gonna be like, yeah, but they boom, boom, boom. So you justify it in your mind, but it's like, yo,
now you acting out.
What would Jesus do? You know what I mean? What would God do? What would what's the actual way to move? You know what I mean? Like, so not saying we all perfect because we far from it. We all just trying to figure this thing out. But I'll be trying to move on some like, yo, what's the real version of me? How would the real version of me that's connected to God, that's forever, and how would he move? Not the version of me that's trapped in my ego right now and I'm like a little boom boom. How would the real version of me look move?
So do you think
have a moral compass, motherfucker? That's what
I mean, just listening to those records though, I feel like there was so many songs where it's like, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And correct me if I'm wrong, just listening as a fan, it almost just felt like this was gonna be friendly competition between three of the best of an era that we've never seen before.
Like I said, I love this interview because he's calling him out on his BS. He always talks about, I'm the best, I'm the toughest, I'm the hardest. And yet, when competitions show up, you slide your ass out on the right side. You just literally slide out. Nobody know you. And then we hear 5 days later, you apologizing. But I love the fact that they're asking them the questions the fans have been asking.
And then it just went super left. Like, there was so many songs where you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not Big Three, it's just Big Me. It's not, I'm the best no matter who it is, you know what I'm saying? And it felt like that for a while. And then when it took that left turn, it just felt like something that just wasn't comfortable to you, or wasn't comfortable to anybody who was a fan of yours.
Well, first of all, my apology came before it took that turn. Let's remember that.
Right.
Like
and there's also the conspiracies or the theories that people gave you the heads up. I don't know how true it is, but like
it's not true. It's a straight lies. Like, I wish we could do a whole season of 7 p.m. in Brooklyn and just go debunk every J. Cole every lie that was every lie. I'm so glad you said that.
That was the rumor that Drake was supposed to be at Dreamville Fest.
That actually is true. He was supposed to be at Dreamville Fest. Like that was planned. He was coming. He didn't come.
Okay.
Thank God.
Man, this is a very revealing interview. He's going to drop a couple of dimes right here, things that we've been trying to find out. And I'm glad, like I said, this is the interview I think that's going to reveal most of the things. I don't know what he has left, who he got going to next. But we know we're going to check in because he's not giving everybody everything. This is the most he's got because they're asking real specific questions people want to know. So let's keep it rolling.
He didn't come. No disrespect to
Make sure if y'all like the video. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, checking out this J. Cole interview with Melo. Let's get it.
Drake, I love Drake, but like, had he come, I would have felt more pressure to be on stage representing that energy. Yeah. Way before Kendrick's song dropped, he was supposed to come.
Big up to everybody in the chat. BFDI, big up to you in the chat. Appreciate y'all.
I was trying to get Kendrick to come too. Like that, my plan for Dreamville Fest that year, mind you, I never got a chance to like. It's crazy because like, you know, around the time I was going to hit Kendrick, like, yo, you want to?
He probably hit Kendrick up. It's like, yo, who gonna be there? You know, that's the first question we ask anyway. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna be there? Nah, I ain't coming.
Come through and make this moment, boom, boom. I told Drake. Drake knew that it was something I wanted to happen when we was on tour. I'm like, yo, it'd be crazy if both of y'all came out at Dreamville Fest, boom, boom. It's silly now to say, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, nigga. there were other plans in the works, but so
yo, that look alone right there tells me how fractured their relationship is. It speaks so much. Like he could, it's not right now, but literally it seemed like he was trying to bring them together. Hey, we've always seen Cole as the one that's going to spread the love in the family, right? He's
all supposed to be on first person shooter together, right?
No,
was that?
I love this one. Here's another one, first person shooter.
That we were all supposed to. No. So it's. I hate that with so many lies. You're actually saying.
I gotta ask.
With so many lies, you're actually saying things that are like half truths.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Drake's supposed to be coming to Dreamville Fest. Yes, half truth. Okay. He was always going to be coming to Dreamville Fest from when we was on tour together. Right. He had always like agreed to do that. Yeah. It was only this situation that made him like, and he actually told me, he was like, and I appreciate him for doing this. He's like, yo, bro. It was after he didn't show up, but he was like, yo, bro. I didn't want to put you in a situation because he could tell when me and him talked, he could tell my heart wasn't maybe equivalent to his. So he was like, yo, I didn't want to come down there and put you in a situation on that stage and say some shit that you would have to stand behind. You know what I mean? Ultimately, that's why he told me he didn't show up. So, and I'm like, thank you. Thank God that you didn't, because it left the space for me to receive what I was.
To apologize. Now, if Drake had went, he probably wouldn't have apologized because Drake would have gassed his head up. I think Drake is the one that gassed his head up in the first place to write this song against Doc. I'm sure on tour, Jake was gassing him up, feeding him that Trizzy Drizzler. Pause. Don't kill me in the comments, y'all.
Supposed to do, you know what I mean? But that's one thing you said that was like a half truth. You just said another half truth, which was, what was the other half?
This was all being on first person shooter together.
Oh, so I'm not gonna say we were all supposed to be. How it came to me was before that beat ever made it to me. I think Kendrick wanted that. I mean, I think Drake wanted that to be a him and Dot song.
Okay,
like I think that's what it was, and I think
what is so unique about this right here when I heard this. Now, the fact that Kendrick feels a certain way about Drake, right? If they sent that song to do with you and Drake and Kenny said no, and then you're sitting around and find out J. Cole pops up on the same song who y'all supposed to be cool with and release that song, how you think Kenny feel about it? You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out what song got him booted off, what got Kenny to remove his songs off of the fall off, because there's a misstep some way and he's not telling us what it is yet, because all he did on 7 Minute Drill was say your albums are bad, you got a bad catalog. He ain't saying nothing about Kenny that would, at least from what we know. So what is it?
My interpretation is like maybe when it wasn't moving fast enough or he wasn't getting the response he wanted, maybe he was like, let me hit Cole, because I think Boy Wonder was pushing like, bro, you need to hit Cole, boom, boom, mind you. So I never looked at that song like it was gonna be all of us. I thought it was me and Drake, and I just had the beat. Okay. There was nothing on it. I just had, and I felt mad pressure because I wanted to come through for him. You know what I mean? I felt like he showed up at Dreamville Fest the year before that. You know what I mean? I wanted to come through for him. I had to write that verse several times. You know what I mean? So that's a half truth kind of. But there's no part of us making that song where it's like, yo, Kendrick was supposed to be on here. Nah, I just got a beat for Drake. I want to come through for him on his album. The clock was running, you know what I mean, and winding down. Boom, and I came through. But you said something in the beginning. Damn, I want to remember.
There was somebody. I think
you said something about me saying. You said something about
getting a heads up.
ScHoolboy Q. That's a complete lie. Okay. Ask ScHoolboy Q. That's just like internet. Like, yo, that's a straight lie. And there's many of those. Many half.
I love the fact that he cleared that up. People had said that because ScHoolboy Q performed at Dreamville, I think, and people were saying that it's possible that Q said something to him at Dreamville about it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say allegedly because I can't buy a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna say I believe some of this stuff, but sometimes people don't say things over again. They know that, hey, it's okay if you answer this way because you ain't never gonna hear it from me. I think he's getting the easy way out. I'm just saying, but we're gonna take his word for it, right?
Truths and many way more straight lies. Like the ScHoolboy Q shit is a straight lie. Like, of course, shout out to ScHoolboy Q. He not gonna come out and just say it on his own, but it's like when you get a chance, ask him. It's a straight up lie. But you said something in the beginning how like on songs, like how I say I'm the best on songs. It's like, ask me in real life, do I think I'm the best rapper alive?
Do you think you're the best rapper alive?
Bro, it's a nigga named Black Thought that exists. It's a nigga named Lupe Fiasco that exists. It's niggas that on any given day, even my peers, a Drake or a Kendrick, where it's like, yo, I know on any given day I can show up to the studio and give these niggas 80. But I know they can show up on any day in the studio and give me 80. And I might only have 30. Like, so if I'm taking on a rap persona, like when I'm rapping, of course, that's what I like to, that's how I like to rap. And guess what? Sometimes I hit the mark and I say shit and I spit a verse that really might have you believe in that shit. But if you ask me in real life, do I walk around like I'm the best rapper alive? No, nigga. Like I'm the best ever? No. But when I put on that motherfucking cape, like that's how I try to attack shit. And have there been things and moments and verses where I'm writing this shit and I'm like, I know niggas not fucking with this. Absolutely. But in reality, do I walk around this earth like there's no nigga better than me in real life? Like I can't get in the studio with Black Thought and he just give me 90. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there like, I got 25 for you. You know what I mean? Or any one of these amazing rappers. But I think people hear me say it because they don't know me for real.
Right.
They hear me say it in a verse so much when I have on the cape.
It sounds convincing like a motherfucker.
It sounds convincing because I'm really doing that shit that's gonna have a nigga like, man, nigga. No, you think when you hear it, nigga. You just scared that people actually believe that. But the truth is, nigga, have I done things that are on that caliber? Absolutely. Like, are there people that'll get in there and smack me? Absolutely. Can I get in that same studio on another given day and smack them around? Absolutely. It's no different than basketball. How many times you done gave a nigga 50 or 40 and then turn around and he done gave you 50 or 40? Like it's no different. You know what I mean? So like, I think people think that I like walk around with that mentality or something. It's like, bro, that's not even my character. You know what I mean? To walk around thinking like, I hope that I do something when I sit down to write that can be considered at that level. You know what I mean? But I already know it's a lot of niggas out there that while I'm hoping, they might be doing that shit right beside me. And they might give me 60.
Okay, now I need to know, Mello.
Yo.
Did you walk around in real life thinking that you were the best nigga to ever do it?
No, because I felt like once I navigated and understood the landscape, I placed myself where I felt like I deserve to be, right? With the respect of the game and with respect of players and also stripping everything. It was, for me, I'm an eye test nigga. Like I need eye test. I got to see it to believe it. So if I saw you and you was like that and you was nice and then my level for you is, my respect level is at an all-time high. So it's almost like you coming and saying I'm better than MJ or I'm better than, it's like I ain't even do nothing yet. But with that being said, in this realm right here, because I never played against MJ. I never played against any of those, a lot of those guys from back in the day. So I can't say if I'm better than Dr. J, if I'm better than Larry Bird, but what I will tell you, in these 2 decades that I did play, when it's time to lace these up against whoever it was, then I know where I stand at in that realm. Right. So I don't go off of like I'm the greatest nigga, I'm the best basketball player out there. I know where I stand, which is why I'm able to walk the way I walk today, which is why I got the respect and I give the respect today, because I don't walk around trying to compete with who they consider is the greatest basketball players of all time.
That's right.
We got 8,000 players or some shit, like 6,000, you know what I mean? But like, I'm one of those 75. Right? So I know where I stand at. In any basketball type of conversation that you want to have in any room, when they talk about this game of basketball and skill set and really the art of this shit, then yeah, I could sit at the table. So that's how I feel about it.
Come on, Peace God. The very mature answer.
All right, man. Let's switch up the combo a little bit, Cole. You got some of the best NBA bars, sports bars we've ever heard. You know
I appreciate it.
And you know, it's only right that we.
Yeah, this part they get deeper into some other stuff into the interview, but that was basically him, you know, catching up on a few things. He talked about ScHoolboy Q. ScHoolboy Q did not tip J. Cole off. According to J. Cole, that was a lie. ScHoolboy Q didn't tell him to back off to watch his. I guess he slept on it. He woke up and was like, you know what? I need to get out of this beef. And the fact that what we also found out there too is Drake never called him to tell him he wasn't coming. He just never showed up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Drake is talking to Cole either. We definitely know Kendrick ain't talking to him. So Cole, when you look at it, at the end of the day, they left you out in the rain. So you should have just battled anyway. Because you got ruined by losing those songs off the fall off. And when you listen to Whacked Out Murals now, I kind of understand what Kendrick Lamar was talking about. I guess he lost respect for you by you apologizing and not standing up for your tough talk. Or probably not even being serious or big enough to put out something to even compete with what he had. I guess at the time you could say Cole was going to his writer block, but we found out a lot of information right there because Cole's not talking to any one of these people. I don't even think Jay-Z's talking to Cole. So Jay's not talking to Cole. Drake's not talking to Cole. Kenny's not talking to Cole. Like, he's literally on his own. You know, he has his biggest album to drop. And all of a sudden, it's not the biggest. Well, it comes out to be his last album. It comes out because a lot of people want to hear it because it's supposed to be his fall off album, him leaving. But what you're finding out now is that he got robbed. Cole tried to play the nice guy. And what do they say? Nice guys always finish last. And it's true. It's true. How y'all feel about Cole? I mean, I feel kind of bad for him a little bit. I'm not gonna say like bad in a certain way, but it's just we as fans got robbed as well. You know, when you hear Jay-Z talk about what this rap battle has done, and you hear people like Ja Rule coming out and say it's not good for rap anymore. And from a certain aspect, they're right. Because what we're going through right now is beyond withdrawal. It's bad. Anybody that can't put out lyrical music with real lyrics in it, you ain't gonna hear them. Nobody want to hear it. That pacified music right now is on the shelf. And there's a lot of it out there. A lot of that pacified music out there where it's just music and no serious lyrics. All that stuff is sitting on the shelf at all these labels. Now the game is divided. Everybody on one side and they fighting against the other people on the other side. East Coast, West Coast, it's a lot of hate going on. But a lot of songs got wrecked in the back. You know how much money was lost? A lot of money. See, the thing is, I guess how they look at it, right, is before this rap battle, everybody was making money. Everybody was making money. After the rap battle, TDE and a few people. Think about it. They shut the whole industry down. Iceman is iced out. We haven't, like, I don't understand how one of the big three can be so nervous and scared to drop an album. Like, he can't release an album on his own, just put it out. Drake is supposed to be the biggest artist in the world, right under Taylor, right? That's what he claimed. But yeah, he's afraid to drop an album. Is it because they know his image is so bad, the numbers are going to be crazy? Because, to be honest, that Party Next Door album to me wasn't that great. It wasn't that great. So I think Jay-Z's out here cleaning up, doing PR work. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't say I'm mad at it, because at the end of the day, we want to hear music. And just because a music or a song comes out and I don't like it, it doesn't mean somebody else won't enjoy it. I'm not that big of a hater. No. I'm not that big of a hater. I enjoy music, and I can hear a song that's really good. That's not for me. That could be like, yeah, that's a good song, but it ain't for me. I don't like it that much. I know she might like it, or he might like it. So I know there's a lot of fans that's upset right now because Drake isn't putting music out. And for all those people out there who telling me that Drake won this beef, why is he putting music out? His image is hurt. It's hurt. And when you hear all these interviews, I really would like to know in one of these interviews coming up, there's questions they need to ask J. Cole. There's few more things that they need to dig into. Because one of the things that they need to ask J. Cole that I would like to know is what specifically caused Kendrick Lamar to remove his songs off his album. Like, what was the situation? I know he may never come out and say it, but you never know. You may get lucky. Somebody may ask him the question, and he may give it. But that's one of the questions I want to know. What was the issue? Because it's no way in hell Kendrick Lamar is pulling songs because of 7 Minute Drill. No, it's no way that's what it was. It's got to be something else. It's got to be something else. Y'all need to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And I appreciate everybody coming through, checking me out, hanging out tonight while we talk J. Cole. He's an open book right now. Apparently no one is talking to J. Cole. He's that kid in the playground kicking his ball by himself. He's got at least if you have a basketball, you can play by yourself. But he's probably got a baseball or football with nobody around. Nobody around. And I feel a little bad because I feel like we as fans got robbed from a legendary album. If the Fall Off had Drake and Kendrick on it, it would have been a legendary album. I'm not going to lie. And I don't even know what this music was like. I'm hoping one day they get released and we get to hear it. But I'm going to just be honest. I would really like to hear what Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole brain comes up with. Like when they really actually put the stuff together themselves and work together. And I could understand why J. Cole is sick to his stomach. Because he's heard these songs. He knows what it is. And I think this is why it took so long for him to rewrite that album, because those songs were irreplaceable. They were irreplaceable. Make sure I hit the like button, y'all. Get this video out to more people. I'm going to be doing some more lives coming up. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of reconstructive stuff around here. I'm rebuilding my whole studio. Not back here, but computers and things like that. So, I been investing more into the equipment, updating. Because all I started out was my little laptop. Now I'm 2 years in on YouTube on this channel, and I have a couple more channels. So I got to put everything in, and you got to put in the work, right? Just like Kenny said, you got to put in the work just like I do. You guys, if you want to keep doing the same thing and not go anywhere, but if you want change, you got to do something different. But I'm going to leave it there. Make sure y'all go check out my other video. I'm going to probably be on again tomorrow with another live. I'm going to be back on here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Peace out. Let me know down in the comments where y'all checking in from.